Hi there. Guess what time it is? And when let's stop for a bit. I don't. I tried recording this video earlier, trying to get it in before all the noise started up again, but I didn't like the result, and so I went back to working on my array, which it's now working. It's all finished. It's nice and pretty. It's pretty clean and does all sorts of nice little things. One of the things I mentioned in the last attempt at this, and by the way, if I press pause, or if it pauses, it'll be, well, you won't notice much, but that will be because the noise level just got too high to bear. Yeah, what I was just saying is sometimes I notice rewatching these that I say I'm going to mention something in a minute or something, and then I forget to mention it. And one of them last time was this in the last video, that I said that there's a hidden W sometimes in here, and I said I would explain that. And I mean, you can probably guess. One is white string and one is ANSI, or whatever, multi-byte. And the reason why I need to have them have different names is because I use this thing. And I'm going to just show you first. See this display here? Now how the string is written out. No, I don't have to click this little corner thing here. And it also tells me the size, and it indicates that it's wide characters. And here, this array struct has a little bit of information about it here, instead of the usual nothing when you make your own class. To get more information, I can click here. But for a little summary thing, there's a way to configure that, and it's hardly documented at all. And it's in a special file that they don't tell you about. And I don't even remember how I found out about it, because I'm pretty sure you won't find it in the help. And it took me a while to remember just what the name of the file is. It's called autoexp.def. So to edit that, that's edit auto export autoexp. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now this is that didn't tell you where it was, did it? This does. Unfortunately, when you switch to editor, it doesn't keep its width. But install directory common 7 packages again, debugger, and this means auto expand basically. So that's for this is a file where you can indicate how you want the debugger to display variable types in the preview, either in the preview thing. There's watch and preview. I think it applies the same rules. Yeah, it works here. Now The reason they don't just come out and tell you to start editing this file and going nuts is because some of the entries in here are have been carefully laid out for the standard template container and whatnot, and they don't want people going in and messing that up. So they don't tell you very much. They do tell you, although in here, how to find out more information, because it's not, how to use this is not really documented in the help. But I noticed, where's that thing I just saw before? Here's the TPT. They give a bunch of examples. I mentioned a few things. Oh, here. Further information on, well, that's a different thing. That's when you supply your own parsing. Like you can also customize the way that the parsing logic works by supplying a DLL add-in. Well, hang on a second. Well, either I misread it or I can't find it again. But anyway, basically the way to use this file is to just look at the other things in here and copy what other people do. Now, here I have a section for this tutorial series. See, I don't need this, but this is a comment, but I wanted to see that, because I was going to put TS point here, and I guess I never did. Oh, because I didn't have to. I ended up deriving it from point. And I guess I don't need that either, but whatever. Here's the class I just added, and now that's a template class. In that case, you have to you can't really specify the exact type, so you're allowed to put a star here to say this type of whatever. And these things are all stuff that understands numbers. And so, in fact, it displays them like that. I don't think I chose a very big format. It would be nice if I could display this at least as an array. I don't know. I define these as p void. I could change it to p pointer to D word or something, right? And then maybe I could make an array display. Yeah. So now when I'm building under the non-Unicode build, I make that TS string. I just let it have its original name, but under the Unicode build, it has to have a different name because I want to have a different rule for it. This means multi-byte string, and I can't use that. I could have used maybe a type def or something, but this is like a type def. Right? It doesn't seem to have any problem. As you can see, it prints it out. Nice. For the more complicated stuff, actually displaying arrays and things, there's an advanced syntax, and I don't know where where to find any information on how to use this. You can copy what what they've done. There's no explanation about how to use this dollar, how the if-else work. You can guess. In fact, this is in my other project, I have the analog of TS string, except in my other project, I made the terrible mistake of making this derive from standard basic string of car or something, right? Standard string. So to get the preview, I gotta go through all this stuff, which I have no idea what it means, but that's what they have, so I just copied it. See, same thing. And for the white car, I copied that as well. I'm going to get rid of that, in fact, or maybe just change everything to this. I'm much happier with this new stuff. Now I'm on being sidetracked. The STL, those container things, vector, list, map, and all that stuff, don't really display nicely in the debugger. I don't know if I can easily find an example. But if you put something in a list or something, okay, this is what I'm talking about. The noise stuff, finally. Now, here, I couldn't really seem to find them, so I wanted to make sure that this thing's still working. Okay, so this is the thing I defined in that file to print my strings out, because previously I could, it's too much hassle. But now here's a list, okay, which again is derived from the STL type thing. Now, you see, I don't see any of my strings yet, but okay, here's the head node. Alright. Right, I don't see, here's the string, but I don't want to see these things. It's actually there, I can see it. But it's very, I had to take the step of making them capitals and uppercase in order to find out where it was actually showing them. I thought, okay, my value should show this string, but no, it says that brings me to the thing it's derived from. Now, that's not good. Standard string and then base, standard container. Like, what is this? This is supposed to be a string. I know this is a member of my struct. Okay, so here's the thing it's derived from. But where's this string? Oh, okay. Now I know what this is. This is this small size optimization thing. So it's not using BX, it's using something else. String val, and string base, container base, sister. I don't care about my sister. How about this? Allocator base. What's that? standard out. You see what a mess this is? And this is just a list. You can imagine what a map looks like. It's terrible. And all the containers like that. All the STI stuff like that. Useless. Totally useless. Now that's my own class, and I don't have to put in all kinds of useless garbage. Although this is not a string, I could do a list, but yeah, should work now, I think. No, that could have wiped out my computer if I was calling that. Stupid function. F7. Now did I delete the list or anything? Here's my R, which is really a list. So node head. Here's the data. See, it's nice and viewable. I can see it immediately. There are no colons and angled brackets and allocator base and sister nodes and container base, reverse bidirectional iterator, this and that. So it's better. It's just simply better. There's no comparing this output, which is nicely arranged, and not noisy, with that other horrible thing. Anyway, that was a diversion. But yeah, so I didn't want to tell you about that file. It's quite handy. I'm going to have a few more things to enter in there, especially to do with this LSA that has a special type of string. Yeah, what I wanted to say was I think maybe this video should come under the topic the heading of like psychology or human psychology or something like that, because I found something out, I think, about how the human brain works, or at least my brain. And that is that although I think I've stopped working on some problem, thinking about some problem, it's not true. There must be some agent inside my brain that continues on working with whatever I'm thinking about, and putting all those twos and twos together. Like, I said if when I rewatch, I see the errors in that. I might see an error in my reasoning or something. Well, that's only part of it. Part of the advantage of rewatching and re-listening to what I've recorded is that I've allowed time to pass, right? And as the time passes, even though that machine, whatever it is doing whatever it's doing, without my being aware of it, it is doing. There is something that is continuing on, working on the problem, and putting the pieces together that I should, I believe I put together, but it's not me doing it. It's got, because you can sense I can anyway, that I'm not going through any deductive process or anything, and suddenly something sends me a message and lays out, what it just figured out. And it can't be me, because it's not an intentional sensation. It doesn't have that feeling. It sounds like I'm talking crazy, but I'm quite serious. And I realized, and that other agent spoke to me again last night when I was having my supper, and pointed out to me, although not in I am not hearing any voices, just a feeling. The line of reasoning that I was following, and the conclusion, the putting of two and two together that I have failed to do. And it's definitely a funny one too, because basically I had explained in the video, in those preceding videos, 3 or 4 videos, all of the reasons for the conclusion that I was supposed to make, but I didn't make it. In fact, I made the opposite point. So it can't be me. Why would I make exactly the opposite point that I'm supposed to make? The point is this. I said, almost word for word, that every personal computer comes with this tool, right? And oh dear, no! Now why did I? Oh, the mouse isn't broken. The local security policy manager, right? Which I said, I think, which is completely useless for a home computer, but they still include it anyway, right? That's what I said. If you didn't watch the other ones, you'll see that I said that. Prior to making that claim, I spent like 3 videos explaining, firstly, that the home computer is set up to mimic the situation of a fictitious company, a fictitious organization with a fictitious local area network and a fictitious network administrator with fictitious remote logons and so on. In order that all the stuff that comes with the network sublayer, whatever, of Windows, mostly the security I was referring to, but also anything else that comes with that, would be applicable to your home computer, because your home computer is essentially now become an office, with employees and remote logon accounts and all that sort of thing. Hence, the local security policy program, although it is something that would be of no use on a personal computer, it certainly would be of use on a personal computer were that personal computer simulating the situation of a fictitious organization in a fictitious office with a fictitious network and and therefore network security. That is, everything here is everything on my local system is a part of is belonging to a network, right? It's a fake one, but whatever. And therefore, configuring my system, configuring specific, say, security on my system, is simply a matter of configuring network security, right? So, what would be normally a useless program for a personal computer is suddenly a useful tool, because everything in this fake environment is represented by something that has a network analog, like this, the app locker or something, okay. Now I haven't configured this, but I could. For instance, I could create rules that say when programs are allowed to run and by what accounts and what groups they belong to. I can I can download a rules DLL for app locker, right, and enable that collection. I can configure installation rules and so on my personal computer, which is really actually a personal computer. Executable rules. And let's see now. Somehow I got another. How do I get that thing back? Oh, yes, okay. Okay, there's not much else to see on this one. How about local policies? I can customize these sorts of things. Oh, here's one example. IP security, okay, on my local computer. Create an IP security policy. I could do that if I want. I can manage IP filter lists, right? And I can do all of this because this is all part of a network. This is all part of what you do when you manage an office. And my computer is simulating both a server and a client in both environments. This is configuring the server side of the environment, which communicates with the operating system and applies these rules that I make up. And the clients are like the programs. They're all logged on through terminal services. Now, I don't know if you can associate an IP with a program, but I bet you probably could. You just give your local host as the IP address. Now, certificate BitLocker drive encryption. data recovery agent. So, I don't know what this is exactly. In the group policy editor, you can configure the scope or domain or a domain organization unit, have a recovery agent. So this is something to do with encryption and recovery. Encrypting file system. I don't have anything defined because I never knew that I had this available. But I do. I just have to get one of these agents, whatever it is. Well, I've got these ones. See? And this is all for networks. This is all for a regular office. So now, because my computer, so this is further evidence, I think, to support the assertion that is the intended, in this case, the intended abstraction of this operating system. Remember, at the beginning of the Windows section of this thing, there was some point where I said, what is the intended abstraction of Windows itself, the operating system? And that seemed to be something that turned everything back into devices and so on. But this abstraction layer has a very clear intention, and that is to the intention is I guess security and being able to do this kind of configuring, and the implementation of that. In order to implement that, the abstraction is that of the office environment. So now I didn't figure that out, but I had explained all of the bits of that led up to that conclusion, and I didn't make the conclusion. Something else did, and I don't know what. Maybe I'm schizophrenic or something, or maybe everybody's schizophrenic. Maybe that's the way thinking works, and just some people are, more often getting that messages from that thing that puts the twos and the twos together for you, and so we label those people schizophrenic. But maybe everybody has this to some degree. Like everybody's a little bit dyslexic, that sort of thing. Okay, well, I started rambling a little bit at the end there, and so I cut a little bit off if there was a discontinuity there. I can't think of anything to add at the moment because I need to try any experiments. I just finished up on my array thing, and I could show you that working, but I've already used a lot of time, so maybe next time. See you.